everybody. So I have progress on my astral travel experiences, and I wanted to tell you guys about it. So within the last couple weeks, I've been using this affirmation, I astral travel. I'm wanting to expand my horizons on my psychic experiences, and I'm working with affirmations to see how effective affirmations really are. So without doing a lot of research or how do you astral travel, I'm not putting my mind into it. I'm not trying to figure it out. I'm just using the affirmation and living in the reality that I astral travel. Okay. So I started saying I astral travel. And I've been using affirmations to open my chakras every day. So like my third eye is open, my crown chakra is open. So I'm working with open chakras through the statement, through the affirmation. I'm affirming that my chakras are open. I'm affirming that I astral travel. So I'm doing this. All right. So last night I was astral traveling all night. Okay. That's the only way. I don't know that I would define this. It's more like astral dreaming. I feel like there's a little bit of a variation between the astral plane where you're completely out of the body looking at yourself in your own bedroom. But this was astral travel. This was definitely an astral travel experience because of the way that I could feel the sounds, the temperatures, the emotions was all really amplified, really amplified. But didn't take place in my bedroom. It started in a window that was open. And I was standing at the window and I just knew where I was and where I was going without a hesitation or a second thought. And I had a persona of me inside, this stronger version of me that knew what was going on. The persona inside of me was like, oh, we can't jump out the window. And the other me was like, oh, yes, we can. And I literally just jumped out the window like a superhero. And I landed on my feet, like 20-story high building. And I just landed on my feet on the ground like power, like pure power and strength. Without a hesitation, I just jumped out a freaking window. Now, this is surreal because I have a fear of heights. So the inner me was like, no. And then the real me, this astral me, this other me was like, oh, yes. And it was the most empowering feeling ever to do this, okay? I'm sure you guys have dreams, but I'm not the dreaming type, so I don't do this, okay? So I just jumped out a window in my astral dream experience, and it was so empowering. It was so amazing, okay? Now, it was a cold landscape. It was snow and it was cold. And this inner me was like, we're going to freeze to death. And the other me was like, no, we're not. None of this is even, you're not in this reality. Like you're not a body in this reality. And the other me, we were running like, fast, like an animal. And we were running and leaping and we were running through the snow and we were running across what is frozen water that wasn't iced over. And I was barefoot. And I could feel the cold snow on my feet. I could feel the cold air. I was running through, it was a very surreal city with really tall buildings. And it all seemed to be made out of like black metal. And it felt like a Gotham city, but there wasn't like evil or anything there. It felt like people were sleeping. And I was just running like a wild animal through this cold environment. And I was like some kind of superhero. It was really cool. Okay. I can't remember all the details. That was very loud to me. Now there's another detail because there's some alien experiences going on here. Now, I did this all night and it felt like I woke up around midnight. I woke up several times throughout the night, which I've been sleeping through the night pretty consistently. So this was a little surprising. Now it's midnight. Now it's 2 a.m. Now it's 4 a.m. Now it's like, okay. And I felt like I was busy all night long doing things. Like I wasn't actually sleeping. I was busy all night. And so I don't know that I got the most restful night's sleep, although the empowerment, I feel very empowered today having that experience. It just is stuck with me. So I astral travel literally is enough to affect your dream experience. So the first time I woke up, and I cannot remember what woke me up or how I woke up, because when I did wake up, I was extremely confused because I thought I was alive the whole time. And I think I was, right? But then I was in my room and that was very confusing to me. And then I noticed it was only midnight, which was even more confusing because I felt like it was all very confusing. Anyway, I go to the bathroom, and in my third eye, as clear as day, I see there's like, I don't know, 5, 6, a little bundled group of little gray alien beings. But they had pointy ears, like elves. And they were maybe 2, 3 feet tall, with an almond-shaped head and the black almond-shaped eyes, and then pointy ears. And I didn't want anything to do with that. I didn't want to talk to him. I just wanted to go back to bed. And so when I went back to bed, I couldn't stop thinking about those faces, okay? And so I just started opening all my chakras. You know, it's interesting. Usually when we're a little insecure, the last thing we think of doing is opening our chakras. We want to dim our light, hide. Don't look at me, weird alien beings in my third eye. But instead, I'm like, I'm just going to open all my chakras and become brighter. And if that bothers them, that tells me something. That tells me that they aren't chill with bright, happy, loving light. And I don't need those alien beings in my life. Well, they were still there. After I did all of this affirming my chakras were open, and actually feeling my chakras becoming very bright by just simply stating the affirmations. My root chakra is open. My sacral chakra is open. I'm telling you, this stuff works. It's ridiculously easy, and it works. Okay. So after I did that, I don't even remember going back into the astral dreaming experience, because I was surprised when I was again in my bedroom, because all night I was going through some kind of surreal city, and I was talking to people that were familiar to me, and I felt empowered. Like I felt like I was kind of behind the scenes, but I just felt like I was a powerful person for some reason, okay? But I remember that the last thing that I did before I woke up again, was that I remember looking into the face of one of these alien beings, which I'm going to channel these alien beings. I'm actually going to go do a journey now that it's daytime and I've had some time to think about it. It's like, I'm going to go see what they're all about, and then we'll share in the experience together. Okay. So I remember looking at one of their faces, just looking at the face and holding it. And I was familiar with this one. And it had more of like a male energy to the spirit of itself, had more of a male energy. And I remember it was talking to me, it was talking about the value of my sacral chakra and the energy of love. And so after I had opened all my chakras and they were still there in my third eye, and then I was looking at the one face, I thought, oh, okay. So I went into my sacral chakra to just see, you know, what more I could discover. And then that's when I woke up again. So I'm going to go ahead and relax. Are you guys keeping up with me? I'm going at 1,000,000 miles. It's like I'm running through the snow. I'm leaping. I'm like a wild animal through a Gotham City. I'm jumping out windows. It's pretty cool. All right, so I'm going to relax now and tune in with these alien beings, and let's just see what they have to say. Like, this is a very positive conversation, and when I connect with them, I have no idea what it's going to sound like or what it's going to be like. So it could be a totally different energetic experience. So, okay, I'm going to chill out now and get tuned in. They were there all night. Like, I woke up several times, and every time I woke up, I saw them in my third eye. And I felt like they had something to do with my astral dream state. I'm going to have to really chill out because I was really high vibe when I was telling you guys all that stuff. So I got to calm way down. Yeah. I remember he had... Okay. Just a minute. Okay. It's a bit surreal, but I feel this one is also inside myself. And I feel my heart and his heart are beating at the same pace or in the same time. I feel my third eye and his third eye are one. He does have an elvish type energy. It's so weird. I mean, he doesn't define himself as a gray alien. Like we would call them a gray alien. However you want to call them. He isn't a gray alien. He's more of an elvish type energy. And he's glad that I was open-minded to seeing them last night. I mean, he's very slow and loving in his heart. I feel like I've got to alter my energetic dynamic more so that I can properly understand him. He's not psychically speaking through his mind, he's psychically speaking through his heart. So it's more of translating feelings than thoughts. All right, I'm going to have to just completely clear my mind and clear my memory of astral travel and even just clear my slate. And I'm just going to tell you guys the next image that comes to me is actually the communication from this being. Okay, he is very hard to translate. It's an open space that isn't actually an open space. And there's a black river of energy that is actually flowing along the wall, not the ground, the wall. And he shows me how he can expand this space or make the space smaller, more confined. And he shows me how sometimes we like to be in a small space and sometimes we like to be in a wide open space. And he's showing me that I, Abbey, am asking the universe, saying I want to be in a wide open space. And he shows me that I've been living in a confined space. And that's why I'm choosing to astral travel, because I'm saying I want to live in a wide open space. And astral travel gives me access to more. In my interpretation of space, it gives me access to more space. More to look at, more to feel and experience and participate in. And when I'm in a smaller space, I feel more closely connected to just simply myself. And that the dynamics of my relationship with space is changing. And not everybody is ready for their space to become wider. And that's fine. He shows me, so I've been working with fairies, elves, and gnomes. Happy gnomes. And so I'm always bringing them their energy into my home and asking them for new ideas on how to stay organized and keep things clean. Because I also live in the affirmation, my house is clean. So that's the way I can live in the reality of a clean house, is so I'm bringing this positive energy in to help me with this manifestation of this reality, okay? And he's been receiving my vibration, and now it's like an introduction, okay? And he shows me how he's not what we perceive as your common elf. He's He looks more like a gray alien to me, but he says he's not a gray alien. He's more of an elvish being. And he isn't offended at all ever. Like, he's very lighthearted and easygoing. But I'm going to go ahead and slow down because I really want to tap into his emotional communication, his heart communication. So the next thing that I tell you, the next image I see is what he's saying to us. So I'm just going to clear everything from my senses and get tapped into the next thing. Oh. He shows me again a black space, and there's a green sphere, and this sphere is a ball that's just kind of rolling around wherever it feels like going. And this space is starting to lift above my ability to see what is going on in this space. So I'm becoming unable to see it anymore. It's rising above my point of view. And now what is in my point of view is, it's white, it's purple, it's basically just color that is just softly kind of before me. And I'm surrounded by this color. And now he's showing me this black space with the green sphere. Is coming down and it's merging with this other space with this sort of purple. It's a soft purple color. There's like white and silver kind of intermixed in there, soft colors. And now there's like a merging between this black space with the green sphere and this other purpley space. And he shows me now that both of these spaces are going down, and they're going so far down I can't see them anymore either. And now I'm just in a blank space. There is a softness to it. It's really surreal to be in it. It feels like I'm in a cardboard box, but you can't necessarily see the walls. And it feels flat. It feels like the color is not nurturing. The color has lost its glimmer, its specialness. It feels flat. And so I'm surrounded by a flat environment. And it's hard to get out of. And it's interesting because I tell him, you know, I never got a chance to really look at that black space with the green orb sphere thing. I never really got to know this other purple space, and they've been kind of taken away from my ability to access them. But this flat space seems to just linger. Okay, we're actually going to clear the board. I told you all this stuff so far. We're clearing the board, and I'm going to let him tell us the next thing. Okay. He's telling me the next thing, but I have no idea what it is. All I can feel is pressure developing in my third eye. And it's basically just black. But I know he is sharing something with me that I can't understand it. My human mind just cannot translate it. So I accept that. And for some reason, I'm okay with that. And I step into this black space that doesn't have any explanation to it. And I feel happy here. I feel happy in a place that I can't explain. And he says that is what I miss. Everything that is in this space that my human mind can't translate for you and that I can't explain is everything my soul has seen and felt and experienced that I miss, that I, Abbey, actually miss. And he wants me to sit in this space and just receive the memory, even if I can't remember, even if I can't conceive of it in my mind. And there's no words, there's no emotion to define it. There's no color to define it. I'm actually laying down in this space. And I feel super happy. I feel like I'm glowing with orange and yellow light. I feel like I'm made out of a happy face that can be seen in every direction. I feel emotional and sensitive in my happiness. I feel myself expanding my energy out to into this vastness to sort of, although it feels like I'm separated from it, receiving it all around me, I'm expanding my energy to feel it on the inside of myself. So like I'm absorbing it all into me from inside. But then I, as a human, want to kind of feel like I'm in a world with all of these things, as though I'm separated from it so I can actually enjoy it in its individual state. Like, let's say ice cream in our world is a separate experience that my soul has experienced in other dimensions and places as something else that I feel, and I carry some kind of joy about that inside myself. So when I revisit it here and it just happens to be ice cream, it somehow gives me access to that same joy through something that my human self can conceive of and work with. So it takes that love out of me and then puts it into an object, a manifestation that I can interact with in an experience of separation. So everything that is separate here is actually a gift, a gift that we get to interact with in its own separate individual form. Instead, it would all be kind of swirled together and inside of ourselves. And so it's somehow more joyful, wonderful for us to be human so that we can have all of this oneness divided out into individual experiences to interact with, participate in, and discover. And sometimes it overwhelms us and scares us. And sometimes it is addicting. Sometimes we don't want to let go of it. Sometimes we feel so sad to not have that thing. And now we get the human life experience. And he says this is the dimension that my soul chooses because it gives me access to all the things that I love in its own separate form. And in a way, this conversation is bringing light and awareness to some type of an energetic epiphany. There's an epiphany here. It's more than just the words that I am speaking. It's more than just the feeling and the experience. It is so much more profound than this. And it's an epiphany that I'm having inside myself that is just helping me to feel expanded in my world as Abbey, here in this now. And now I'm giving this all to you guys as a gift of myself, so you can feel enriched by it in your own way. So we're clearing the slate. Wow. I feel just so much energy in my third eye and in my heart. Very peaceful, very happy, very simple even. Very bright. And he shows me again, this black with the green sphere and the purple, and things that we could see, and then now we can't interact with that anymore. Some things we'll have brief time with, and other things we'll have more time with. I can't seem to move on yet to the next message, so I'm just going to sit with this for right now. It's the silence. I'm experiencing myself in a space of silence. And it's disconnecting me from every thought and idea and feeling, identity, color, food, time, objects, people. It's just a complete purification of myself as being no self at all, but just as existing in a way. It's, how do you define it? I mean, it's silence, and it's silence that is so pleasant, and it's like I exist. Nothing else. It's not that I'm Abbey, or that I'm a mother, or that I'm Abbey normal, or that I'm a friend, or a, it's that I exist. That's simply it. It's a silent space where I exist, and it's so ridiculously purifying and relaxing, and it's disconnecting me, but it's also for you guys too, so you can feel the disconnection of all energetic attachments, emotional attachments to your identity, to other people, to responsibility, to everything. And that's like a complete wash of our energy fields to do this, like a reset button. So that's all I'm going to share for right now. I feel pretty out of it. It's hard to come back to my body to even finish this video message. Just allowing myself to come back. I can go there anytime. You guys can go there anytime you want. Just coming back into myself. And feeling my hands, feeling my shoulders, my head, my legs, my hips, my feet. Helping me to feel back into my body. Continuing with the affirmation, I astral travel, which is saying, in other words, I'm wanting to explore a more vast space. I'm wanting more room, a wider view. I astral travel. What do you guys think is going to happen if I continue saying I astral travel in a year's time, in 5 years' time? If I continue to say this, look at how much I'm growing already in just a couple weeks. Now you guys start saying it and see what happens, right? It's pretty cool. Affirmations are life-changing. Next thing you know, you have weird little people in your third eye looking at you at 12 o'clock after you just jumped out of a window and felt your feet on the ground like a superhero running now like a wild animal through a cold Gotham City. It was awesome. Okay. Thank you all so much for watching. And by the way, Zodiac energy readings are being posted. All right, so check out my other YouTube channel, Zodiac Energy Readings. There will be Zodiac Energy Readings for all the Zodiac signs for the month of October. So I'm working on that this weekend, okay? So you should be able to find your Zodiac sign out there very, very soon. Okay, if any of you are interested in working with me one-on-one for a psychic session, come visit me at my website at abbeynormalswisdomquest.com. I have another YouTube channel. It's Abbey Psychic Services. It's really worth your time to go check it out. I share client sessions there. So when I share a client session, it's an opportunity for you to experience what another person's energy field looks like, to learn and grow and heal as a collective community through the gift of other people's sessions. It's freaking awesome. So check out Abbey Psychic Services. I'm also on Patreon. I'm doing live streaming right now. We're doing a workshop to open your 5 psychic senses of psychic sight, sound, touch, taste, smell. So that's what we're doing this month of October. If you're interested, come visit at patreon.com/abbeynormalswisdomquest. Okay, that's it. Thank you all for watching and have an awesome rest of your weekend.